Well, the temperature may not feel like it, but spring actually starts today. Does it feel early to you? Well, technically it is. It's actually the earliest beginning to spring that we've experienced in our lives so far. Meteorologist Lee Southwick explains.
The spring equinox happens today. That's when the sun's rays are directly over the equator, and there are about equal parts day and night over the Earth. It occurs at an exact moment in time, marking the start of spring. Tonight, spring officially begins at 11:06 p.m. This is the earliest start to spring in 128 years, back to 1896. That year, the equinox occurred on March 19th at 9:23 p.m. Usually, the spring equinox occurs on March 20th or 21st. In fact, the 1900s never saw an equinox fall on March 19th. 2020 saw a March 19th equinox, but it just occurred later in the day at 11:49 p.m. The earlier spring equinoxes are linked with leap years. When you add a leap day to a year, it moves the spring equinox up by about 18 hours. So there will be more March 19th equinoxes in 2028, 2032, and so on. With every leap year this century, the equinox will get earlier and earlier. By 2096, the equinox will occur at 10:04 a.m. But why were there no March 19th equinoxes in the 1900s? That also has to do with leap years. A leap year occurs every 4 years with an exception. There will not be a leap year on a century mark unless it is divisible by 400. So the years 1600 and 2000 were leap years, but 1700, 1800, and 1900 were not. A leap day adds more time to the year and moves the equinox up. When you skip a leap day, like in 1700, 1800, and 1900, the equinox will keep falling back in time. By the 1900s, with 3 skipped leap years, the equinoxes were all later on March 20th or 21st. Since 2000 was a leap year, we instead added more time to the start of this century, and thus the equinoxes have moved up into March 19th. That time slot will happen for every leap year for the rest of this century. I'm meteorologist Lee Southwick. First Coast News on your side.
Now, your most accurate forecast from the First Coast News weather team, sponsored by AC Designs.
Okay, did you get all that, folks? I love it because I love numbers, but maybe you don't like numbers. So Lee also is helping us with the summary of what's that all mean. Well, the first real attempt to get close to this idea that we have 365 and a quarter days, that's the actual orbit, that was attempted back with Julius Caesar, so about 2,000 years ago. So it was close, but it was off by about 11 minutes per year. Now, that may not sound like much, but that being off by 11 minutes per year means over 1,000 years, that's over a week, which means if nothing had been corrected, we'd be 15 days off over well, half a month. So therefore, under the Pope, the Gregorian calendar was created, and now we're much closer, and thus we just have this variation that we deal with.